Good evening, everyone. Hello, Dan. We're live. I'm going to play the theme tune, and hopefully that's going to work, and then we'll get to it.
Here we go. We thought it was going to work, but I thought it was in front of us then, but it wasn't.
No, I'll have to get working on that, Dan. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Always something with Everton, isn't he? So that keeps me brain busy.
And good evening, everyone. It's Ryan here, and I've got Dan with me. Obviously, Mabsy's just about to come on now, audio only. And we're going to be talking about the news that Farhad Moshiri has declared this evening that Everton are not for sale. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about the news that Everton are in talks for Morgan Gibbs-White. And there's been interest in Wolves winger Adama Traore with a £10 million bid mooted and a £35 million bid for Onana potentially on the table. Also, we're going to be looking at the move of Jarred Branthwaite, who's joined PSV on a season-long loan, and be looking up with Marcel Brands. Can someone kindly in the comments confirm that they can hear us both clearly? Because Dan, to me, is a little bit crackly. Just make sure in the comments, please, before...
Yeah, make sure you can hear us.
40 minutes. Make sure you can hear us and see us if anyone can, please do. And also share the stream. If you're on social media, please paste the link and let's get some good numbers on here. Right, let's bring Mr. Mabsy in. Mr. Mabsy, you're on audio tonight. How are you, mate?
Yeah, all good, all good. Just been doing so much work. I've just been doing overtime, so back home tomorrow. Can't wait.
Good to hear, Mabsy.
Get the money in the bank.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
No
it's
worries.
Bad sound. Should I move on to the laptop, do you think?
I think so, yeah. That's what I said to you. It's probably be better with a laptop. Last time it was like this.
Okay. Can I ask you two to just talk and then I'll be up on the laptop in 1 minute? Okay.
So should we just discuss about Farhad Moshiri, what you said tonight? Well, I don't think personally, Dan, it's a shock.
No, I don't either. No, I've started tweeting like recently saying just whatever's going to be is going to be. So just let it happen, because I honestly didn't feel like, but basically things have started happening. Like they changed the under 18s academy coach and stuff like that. They changed all the academy coaches. So I started to think, if they're starting to do stuff and not change the board or the owner, then obviously we're probably going to get who we've got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you to this extent. At the end of the day, you don't change your culture and then suddenly sell off. It was weird. I don't think he's ever intended to sell. I think, once the stadium is up and it's done, that then he'll look to sell to maximise his profit. I think everyone's been in this pipe dream that we've got to get taken over and we're worth X amount and, they're going to pay it. And it probably doesn't meet the valuation of what Moshiri wants or Moshiri expects the club to be. And I wasn't surprised when he just said the club's not for sale.
No, well, he basically said that it wasn't. He spoke like in the message that it wasn't for sale at all. Where we've all acted like it was going to get sold. Yeah, but then why was it frozen, Mabsy? Why did we get all these rumours that it was frozen for these buyers if it wasn't like on the market? If he's saying it was never to be sold, then why was it frozen? Like, do you know where it said they've got a period where they can buy it?
Yeah,
it was given a period
of exclusivity. I think, but I think, I don't think it's met his valuation. I do think we are stuck with Moshiri, unfortunately, to say. And yeah, as I say, he's not my choice. I want him out. I think we need a new change. You know what, right? This isn't just about Kenwright. The whole thing, everyone uses Kenwright as a scapegoat in a way. Oh yeah, I'm not saying that he's not part of the problem. Absolutely, he's a problem, and he's a big problem. I'm not saying that. Moshiri's the biggest problem. Moshiri has controlled this club from day one. Let's not beat around the bush. The board is just a patsy. You know, let's not forget Moshiri was the one who brought in Rafa. You know, Baxendale and Kenwright had no say, didn't want it to happen. You know, the whole shit with Jarabshan, that's all down to Moshiri. Now, if Moshiri wants to own a football club, and you know what, he wants to own Everton, so be it. And you know what, and he wants to show off on his fucking yacht, I own a football club, absolutely be my guest. What he needs to do, if he wants to stay on at Everton, he needs to get footballing people in the right jobs and not interfere. And then, you know what, though, he can still say I own a football club on his yacht.
What do you think about the part of the? What do you think about the part of the message where he basically called out Bill Kenwright and said Bill Kenwright and Farewell are in charge? That's the way it come across for me, that these are the two people in charge. I think a lot of people would have got worried by that.
Right. Okay.
What do you think on that? Do you think, because you know as well as me,
he's passing the buck. He's using those patsies because we all know that it's Moshiri pulling the strings. You know, Kenwright is not, for the love of whatever, and again, Kenwright hates, and you know what, I don't hate Kenwright, but he's not the right man for the job anymore. He used to be. He wasn't. You know, back in 2000, we all forget how bad it was under Johnson. You know, I think we look at back in rose-tinted glasses, and I'm not saying, but he needs to go. We need proper footballing people, and he's just an archaic. What's his? You know, the charge.
He's not going to go by that message. Is that what you get from reading that? That
no, of course he's not. No, absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, he's moved. Looks for me like Farewell's just another fucking patsy. A yes man is quite happy to take the money, where Bands has got sick of it, sick of the blame, and thought, hang on a minute, I'm out. And I think Farewell, to me, seems like another patsy, because have we actually had one comment from Farewell? Any statements or anything like that for Farewell? Does anyone know?
He has come out and said some stuff. I think a lot of people are happy with Farewell because he come out and he's done a few videos of what he wants to do. He said what he wants to do. And since Farewell has come in, to be fair, he has made a lot of changes. Ferguson's gone. Academy coaches have changed. New roles have been put in.
At the end of the day, Ferguson wasn't anything new. Ferguson, unfortunately, has been frozen out for the club for a long time. Now, you look at when, Benitez took charge, he wasn't there really on the touchline celebrating. And again, under Lampard, I didn't see him. You know what I mean? He wasn't as ambling.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It might not be down to Farewell that Ferguson went. That could have just been something that was going to happen anyway. So you can't really give him the credit for that or say it was down to him. I know what you mean.
I think as well. He's changed a lot of the youth setup, but then you get rid of Unsworth, and then all you do is replace him with what's his face, the deputy. What's his name? He was been at the club for years. John Ebrell, and you place him with John Ebrell. It's like, well, it's just a different face. It's the same regime going on.
I'm back.
It's not nothing like he's nothing mind blowing, is it?
You've got you don't know though, do you? I feel like I know what you're saying. He isn't proven yet, but no one is going to be. Whoever comes in, you've got to give him a chance. I suppose the fact that you've got him, you've got to give him a chance and see what he does.
Not a problem, but John Ebrell's so uninspiring. It's just another job for the boys. We've just got rid of Rhino. Why are you putting Ebrell in charge? We need someone probably more proactive or something different with a different change of culture. Change it up.
Maybe he is really good though, and they think he's got something about him. I did agree with you on that part on him. I didn't want him either. I wanted fresh. Do you know what I mean? Like all new, all fresh. I did want it complete, because I think if you're going to change something, you've got to change it completely. You don't keep someone in the campus, move them to that department, because it doesn't change anything. Where if you bring new people in that department, all these lads in the academy are going to get that to kick up the arse, fresh start. We've got to improve the new boss, aren't we? So I do know where you're coming from.
I'm back.
Ryan's back. Are you struggling, Ryan?
I don't know what's going on. I think I'm having some connection difficulties tonight, unfortunately. But I am here in my new Everton training. This is the new purple kit. I've got my initials on there. It's very nice. I've just played football in it. Yes, I will be washing it in a moment after the stream. We were a little bit late tonight. I apologize. I don't know where you're at in the conversation. I'll quiz you on that. I just want to welcome everyone to the stream. Make sure if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for us. We've got a great show in store tonight. I've got lovely Dan, Mr. Positive, and I've got Mabsy. Unfortunately, we haven't got him on camera tonight, but he will provide some wonderful words of wisdom and his iconic Everton opinions. I don't know where you're at with it. I'm assuming you've been talking about the under-23s there.
Yeah, so we've been talking about, I think, Falwell and Kenwright being patsies now for Moshiri and basically being the fall guy. And I kind of say, well, we kind of picked up on the fact that, you know, we're talking about Falwell mixing it all up, but he hasn't really. I say, you know, okay, sacked Unsworth, yeah, absolutely. Or Unsworth left, quote unquote. But then he just got in and got John Ebrell. It's the most uninspiring thing. You know, why did he go out and get someone else to change the culture? Because all John Ebrell is just another Unsworth.
Was that is John Ebrell actually the under-23s manager now? I thought they brought someone else in. I thought they brought someone in. And they brought a third party in. Anyway, I want to move away from that. I want to talk about the breaking news today, tonight. At 7:50-ish, there was a statement by Farhad Moshiri, Everton's majority shareholder, and he states that the club is not for sale. He goes on to say to not judge us now in terms of transfers. Mabsy, I think you've got a bit of a weird line. Oh, it's not Mabsy actually, or is it? No, it's not Mabsy. It might be me. It's like a weird interference. He said, judge us at the end of the transfer window and not now. And to basically watch this space, to quote Bill Kenwright, indicating there will be new signings, saying the club is not for sale. He's open to all investments, etc., etc. Now, Dan, first and foremost, you saw the statement, perhaps a little bit out of the blue. From my perspective, it's more desirable when you have an asset that you don't want to sell. Almost increases the price. And Farhad actually is renowned for saying one thing and doing another, isn't he? Saying that the club is for sale is not for sale when it really is. Saying that he's got Rafa's backing when Rafa's 2 games from the sack. The same with Marco Silva, etc. So can I just get your initial reaction onto that statement, please? What are your thoughts?
Well, me and Mabsy did touch on it a little bit. That's where we kind of went to the farewell thing, because basically we were saying that he's come out and said that Kenwright and Farewell is running the show. Like, he said they've got his back in there running the show. So that's why the conversation went to that direction on them. But yeah, I knew that when we all thought Everton was going to get brought, it was just a stunt from Moshiri to just advertise the club. Just basically see who's interested, put it up for sale a little bit, see who's interested. But I always said all along, he's not selling that club until the stadium's built, until it looks like a good selling club. Do you know what I mean? Selling point. I knew he wasn't going to sell it. So for me, this is not a surprise. And I also just said to Mabsy when he was off that the fact that a lot of stuff's going on, new things are happening, and it looks like Everton are starting to do things. I didn't think that Kenwright's going to get moved on or Moshiri's going to sell the club. And I can't hear you.
You're mute.
You're mute.
Okay, sorry. I'm looking at that statement there. Thanks, Dan, for your comment on that. I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, you've not told me an awful lot. I mean, the fans have... I've gone off. Can anyone actually hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Dan's frozen, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he has, yeah.
He's frozen. Dan, you're frozen, mate. Listen, I'm sorry about the technical issues tonight. This content's free. We're not charging you for it, so you can't complain. Looking at this this statement, Mabsy, you've asked for communication. You've been given some communication here. He's saying the club is not for sale. You're not learning an awful lot new. It's a lot of waffle about backing Denise, backing Graham Sharp, and about having the fans for him. To be honest, I don't really give a toss. I'd rather he come out and said, look, I've spoken to someone. It's not worked out. We're not for sale, but if the right person comes along, I would consider selling the club. Also, that, yeah, there is finances. We are working on deals. For me, this is basically just saying, don't lose patience with us. We're going to get deals over the line. But then you look at the comments. We've been linked with Morgan Gibbs-White. Talk of a £25 million deal, and that's what Wolves are happy with. But it's the way it's been structured that is a stumbling block. Also talk, though, unfortunately, this is from Richo63, a regular watcher, that Arsenal are interested in him. They're also interested in Zinchenko, who we've been linked with. So Everton are well down the pecking order, aren't they, Mabsy, in terms of actually being able to pick up the names for players?
Yeah, unfortunately, we are, at the end of the day. If you look at these clubs looking to spend big, and, they've got the clout, they can offer Europe, Look at, I think, Richarlison's probably prime example of that fact. Is that, we didn't have any pulling power at the end to keep him.
And is that why Moshiri is basically saying to people here, the way I interpret it is just give us a little bit of patience and trust us. But it is hard to trust, isn't it? It's hard to trust. I know Felwell's come in kind of a clean slate. There isn't any agenda against him, but still it's the same sort of hierarchy, vetoing and signing off all the deals, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely it is. This is the real problem of the club. It's trying to be the attractiveness, trying to attract the big names and the decent players, and sell the project. After the shit show of last season, it's hard to do. And you hope Farewell can do it. All I'm saying is, I just feel that it's still Moshiri pulling the strings at the top. And what I was saying was, I was kind of saying, yeah, Ken Wright is a problem, and I would totally get that. But Moshiri's the problem at this moment in time at the club.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'd be more than happy to be sold, but I never got my hopes up. I didn't, because I knew that it was very unlikely. Moshiri wants a stadium to be built, and then he'll look to sell.
Yeah, that is something that people have said a lot, that he's not going to let go until the stadium, is completed, and maybe actually he wants to hold on as a minority shareholder at some point. I want to know what people think in the comments, because this is a pertinent issue. This isn't something small you can wash over. And there was a little bit of excitement and expectation that actually there would be a change of hands here, and that Everton would be for sale, because unfortunately for Farhad, as good as probably his intentions have been, 6-7 years of complete failure, stagnation, decline. You'd argue there was only one decent transfer window in there, and that was the year Marco Silva was appointed and Luca Dean was brought in, Zuma on loan, Yerry Mina. That was a very, very good sort of period for Everton. But other than that, there hasn't been an awful lot to shout about. And Dan's going to be coming back in a second. I think he's just switched over to his laptop. If you're new to the channel, I'm Ryan, the channel founder and host, and I've got Mabsy, co-founder, with me, and also the lovely Dan, Mr. Positive, joining us for this stream, who is our new addition ahead of this Premier League season. We've touched on, of course, the news that Farhad Moshiri saying the club is not for sale. This is despite actual talks with an American consortium fronted by Richard Kenyon, and it's clear now, Mabsy, that has broken down. And that stance was really to say,
but they haven't come out and said it's off, has it? Because again, remember last time when apparently talks have broken down, quote unquote, and then they said, well, that's the first time that we've heard of it. I don't know. I would love Peter Kenyon to come in, because at the end of the day, Peter Kenyon's a footballer, man. He owned United, for fuck's sake, and he was during the most successful period of their time. He knows what he's doing. Unlike this clueless, headless chicken that we have now. who puts his faith in dickheads like Jarabshin, who just leads the club dry for agents' fees and all that nonsense.
Listen, Mabsy, I'm grateful for your opinion, and I know Yandalf I'm quite neutral on this. I know Yandalf's very much backing Kenwright in many ways and sees past some of the deficiencies, but ultimately, I think everyone here would agree we need change at the top. And for me, it does come as a bit of a disappointment that actually the club isn't for sale. Because
everyone needs to go. There's no one that I would keep. Well, maybe Falwell, obviously, because he's only just joined. I couldn't sack him. Let's be brutally honest. So we've got communications of Preno, right? Well, what the fuck's he done since he's joined? He hasn't put one press release out. I don't know what Graham Sharp does. I'm clueless for that.
You're not meant to, though, really, Graham Sharp. I understand what he's saying about David Prentice. I think you would expect more communication from him. He is a gentleman, but you would like to think that there was a lot more going on. Maybe he's just a director of communications, as in he's telling people how to update the website and that kind of thing.
The amount of gaps that we've had in the past few days. We've had a ticket season ticket. We have a ticket fiasco with Chelsea, haven't we? That hasn't gone down very well.
I was able to actually purchase a seat.
There's no PR about it. There's no PR to try and look and smooth it over. Nothing. It's like Preno's not there. It's like I get it. I still don't. I keep going on it, but what the fuck does Sharpie do? Mention in the comments if you know what he does, because I haven't got a clue.
Dan, a more positive outlook on this, obviously.
Bring me in.
What are you trying to say? Right?
Dan, we've got to have Mabsy on here because we can't listen to. I mean this with the greatest of respect. We can't listen to too much positivity because at the moment there is, I think the squad is the big issue. You've obviously done some fantastic videos, and I've watched the videos that I haven't even been on. And they are brilliant, Dan. And I think you've done a brilliant job with the Yandalf and David on those videos.
Yeah, it's been good.
But looking at those, the squad, top heavy with centre-backs, a lot of midfielders, but not really anyone who stands out in there as an elite midfielder. You've got wingers, but there isn't a lot of goals or consistency from the ones we have. And you've only got the one striker who you would bank on hitting double figures next season if he played the full 38 games. And you've got a problem at right back and left back, really, where you're not sure whether Michaelenko is going to be the bombing on as a left back, and you don't know whether Patterson's quite ready, but you're forced into that hand because you really can't prioritise another right back. That would mean there's three at the club. How can Everton quickly address this problem? You've talked about Traore. I know you like to latch on to the links and you like to get excited about anyone we get linked with. And that's because you're a little bit desperate to get a deal done. But
I'm quite happy for the clash with you on Traore, to be fair, because I know you're not a fan. And it's not desperation. I'm not desperate at all. I'm like Moshiri said, don't start panicking because it's about what happens at the end of the window. And that's exactly what I've been thinking.
Yeah.
And that's why
you've got to get players in.
Well, you've got to get players in
now. Yeah, you've got to get them in now.
You have, but if they're not available now, then what can you do? Some of these players are waiting.
We've made some excuses for these players year after year. We will make an excuse for a poor start by saying, "Oh, he only joined August the 5th. Oh, wasn't here for a preseason." Get the players identified in. Every man, dog, and his wife can tell you right now, we need a number 6. We need a versatile forward.
We're working on it.
Yeah. And we need a creative midfielder. They are working on that positions. And then you've got more money.
Yeah, well, we are, because first of all, Moshiri said he's going to bring the players in. So straight away, he's told me
to do that.
Well, Moshiri is all show off reputation. If he's come out and said that in a statement, he will do that. He's a man that likes to show off. So
I don't think he's a man of his word.
I don't think he's a man of his word on a lot of stuff. Not on a lot of stuff, but I bet you will be on this. I bet you if he said, I don't think he knows what our fans like. He knows we're on his case big time. He's seen the bed sheets out and stuff like that big time. And he ain't gonna come out when all the fans are on his back and say you're gonna get players, because he knows that the fans will go absolutely mad if we didn't, because he's lied to them. No, he's going to get the players. It's just it doesn't happen quick. We're in for that player from Lille.
But we are looking at players.
Is this just again all these bullshit that likes it?
Sky. It's not just paper though, is it? Because Sky come out today and said we put a £25 million bid in. That was confirmed.
But sometimes again. Is his agents coming round saying, "Oh, Everton are interested," to get other clubs interested?
Yeah.
Are we not spat the catch the mackerel? Surely.
There's not really that much activity that's been done already yet, though, is there? There is a few, but not a lot. It doesn't normally happen till the end. And an example to what Ryan just said earlier on, when we got Traore and Allen. They come in under Carlo. They come in and they played straight away without even training at all. And didn't they have a cracking game against Tottenham? I think we beat them 1-0, didn't we, Ryan?
Yeah, but
with no pre-season.
Dan,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Bad players down.
Pre-season does help, but these players are having a pre-season somewhere else. So I wouldn't worry about that too much.
We're here to have a debate. We're not here to agree. We're not here to sit and happy and agree with each other tonight. This is not what this show is about.
Yes,
you can sit and you and Jan can have a bit of fun. But tonight we are really nailing this because this is big news. And this Moshiri thing for me, I have the utmost respect for Farhad Moshiri in terms of being able to deliver the stadium, actually get the spade in the ground and getting the stadium built. He will forever have my utmost respect. In terms of on the pitch, footballing matters, Mabsy. I have not seen anything in 6 years that makes me think he has a clue about how to run a football club, how to develop the youth, to bring the signings in. And you know what? We're worse at selling players than we are buying them. I look at players like Liverpool getting rid of Nico Williams for 70 million and thinking, fucking hell, if he was an Everton player, we'd be getting 3-4 million for him. We are hopeless at selling players.
Sometimes it's look there, they've just gone and brought that Nunes and he's shit.
Oh, I'll call it. He won't hit double figures next season.
No, he won't. Nunes is rubbish. Sometimes it's luck. You land on play. You take a chance. Same as getting a manager. Sometimes you'll get a manager and he can smash it. Sometimes he can be crap, and that's what we've done.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. We want your comments. It's negative Ryan versus positive Dan today.
Are we losing patience in the window? Because I'm looking at this and seeing all the clubs making moves. I agree with you to some extent, Mabsy. Morgan Gibbs-White for me. The Wolves loaned him out because his career was absolutely stagnating. He's gone to a Sheffield team. I believe that was correct. He scored goals. Great, fantastic. £25 million in this market, which is really, really slumped because of coronavirus. Like Raheem Sterling for me 2-3 years ago, even if he was the age he was now, which obviously can't happen, but if he was in a hypothetical alternative universe, he, for me, is one of the best players in the Premier League, Raheem Sterling. And he's gone for 47 million, not an awful lot more than we paid for Gylfi Sigurdsson. He's 27 in his prime. The market's slumped. Gibbs-White is a lot of money.
Let's just slow this down then, because we're on topics here. So Gibbs-White we're talking about. You're saying, how much did we offer? 25. You're saying that's a lot. He's just getting into the England team. How old is Gibbs-White again, Ryan?
He's nowhere near the England team.
How old is he, though?
22. He's nowhere near the England team.
No, he is. He plays with Gordon, doesn't he? He plays with Gordon.
Yeah, under 21s. The under 21s. Yeah. How many of the under 21s?
No, he plays. Let's just say this though. He plays with Gordon, and Gordon and him are up and coming, players, up and coming gems, superstars. Yeah. How much have we just got offered for Gordon?
Yeah, listen.
What would you sell Gordon though, Dan?
No, I wouldn't sell him. What I'm saying to you is,
we've been offered fuck all for Gordon.
No, but what I'm saying to you is, this is what I'm saying.
Dan, let me speak. Right, so hang on. Right, let me speak. Right, Tottenham think they can offer a few scraps, get rid of the fucking wage bill down, right? Yeah, and get Gordon on the fucking cheap. Not fucking happening. There's no real cash being offered for Gordon. No, fuck off.
That's not my point, though. My point is, Ryan said Gibbs isn't worth. Ryan said Gibbs isn't worth 25 million. We've been offered 25 million for Gordon.
No, we haven't. We haven't been offered anything.
We have Newcastle offered 25 million.
Okay. Let's move on from that. On Morgan Gibbs-White, on the Morgan Gibbs-White one. Okay, as far as I understand, deal will happen this summer. The two clubs are not apart on the fee of 25 million. Okay. But it's the payment structure. Everton want a nominal cash fee up front, guaranteed add-ons, and then there's a lot of performance-related stuff in there.
You know what, though? That means that we haven't got a pot to piss in again. Yet again, he's doing it on the fucking cheap because... And you know what? I don't blame the.
But if you were throwing 25 million cash at Morgan Gibbs White, Mabsy, you'd be absolutely livid knowing that we potentially only have 35 million in a pot this summer.
Yeah, but we don't know how much we've got. We've also put a bid in for that Onana. We've put a bid in for him as well. So how do you know?
Allegedly, Dan.
It come out and said that we are above West Ham. And we're favourites. So why is
we are way down the pecking order for players. And there's only probably 2 or 3 teams in the Premier League that I think at the moment, are slightly worse. I think if West Ham go in for a player, if Newcastle go in for a player, it's unfortunate. It's horrible, but they can pay bigger wages. They've got more going for them at the moment. Ask me in 2 years when we're in Bramley Moor, and I'll hopefully tell you that we are, in certainly one of the most attractive destinations at that time to move to. But right now, we are literally struggling to bring players in because we are at the bottom of the ocean getting the scraps. Yeah, we are being offered the absolute crabs of the league.
What about if we brought in, because Moshiri said that we are going to bring in players. What about if we brought in Morgan White?
Bring in the right players.
Morgan White. No, listen to this though. What about if we brought in Morgan White and that Onana, who looks really, really good, looks like Ghana guy massively. He's a tank. He's everywhere. He scores goals. What about? No, just listen. No, Listen. Let me speak now.
Couldn't care less whether you bring in Morgan Freeman.
No, but what about if we brought in those? You're saying our centre mid is weak. If you bring in Morgan White and you bring in that Onana centre mid with Decore and Allen, that is strength in depth centre mid. 2 massive young engines in with them.
They're finished. Decore and Allen are finished.
No, with them. You've got it. You need strength and depth. So that's 4 midfielders you've got then. You can rotate that.
All of them are on a slump.
The mistakes. You know what? We constantly get last minute over the line, have to push it through. And they always say, "Oh, never happen again," and it always does. It's happening yet again. Another thing, pre-season will be over, and finally we'll sign someone. The whole point of the pre-season is so the players can gel.
The thing is, you don't know. Like you're all dwelling on last season. Like we was in a relegation battle. We're going to be the same. We're going to be like negative. We're not going to be good again.
I think it'll be worse.
We're going to be better. We've got. They're pushing. They're pushing it massively that pre-season. They're working at the fitness is going to be on point. We're going to be better. Why do you think we're going to be worse?
Players,
we've lost Richarlison and not replaced.
The quality of the players.
We're replacing Richarlison with Traore.
The quality of the players that we've got right now in that squad is really, really concerning. And I'm not coming on here to be negative. The reason I'm saying these things are
fresh start.
We need. They don't get any more chances for me.
Well, you need to give up.
I've watched Michael Keane for 6 years.
So have
I've watched Andre Gomes for 4 years. I've watched Seamus Coleman on a decline. What makes you think all of a sudden, under a very inexperienced coach and Frank Lampard, that they're all of a sudden going to be brilliant? We've literally lost our best player.
These players are coming out and said Frank Lampard is doing really well. Like Iwobi's just come out and said Frank Lampard, he can really relate to him. And we all thought Iwobi, myself as well, wasn't good enough. And then even you changed your mind on Iwobi at the end of the season and thought Iwobi was good.
Yeah, but Dan, you've got to look at it. You can't say
he's going to cry now.
We are weaker now than we've ever been, and we barely survived last season, and then he's been weakening the team by selling Richarlison, which we haven't got a replacement for. And then you say we're panicking, but we're not. We're being realistic.
Yeah, Dan, not bullying. We're not ganging up on you.
No, I like it.
I want to have this debate
with you.
I like it,
to be fair, because I wanted to go against you two, because I know me, Jan, and David are a bit more positive than you two. And I understand you've got good reason to be negative, but you just don't allow yourself to be positive. You're stuck in the past. It's got to be fresh start.
I don't think it's negative, Dan. I think it's more being more realistic.
We're not being negative. I'm not. I can't honestly come on here and say that. I think that we're going to have a strong season. I think we'll be flirting at the bottom. I think if we don't bring any more...
I do not think that at all. I do not think that.
If we don't bring any players in now...
I don't think that.
Okay,
we
well,
had loads of injuries last season. No, you can stick with your opinion, and I'll stick with mine. But we had loads of injuries last season.
That's an opinion.
Does anyone?
Where do you think we'll finish, Dan?
I think we'll finish 10th. I honestly do. I think we'll have. There's loads of teams that are a lot worse than us. Forest are awful. Bournemouth are coming up. They're going straight back down. Forest are going. Some of them they're going straight back down.
Dan,
I'm not trying to be.
I'm not trying to be negative. I really respect you as a person, as a friend, as a pundit on here. Okay. But I look at that team. In the past 12 months or so, we've lost Gylfi Sigurdsson, James Rodriguez, Richarlison, and Luca Dean. Okay. Every ounce of creativity and ability to pass a ball in that football team has gone in those 4 players. And we have got very, very few goals in that side. And that is the concern. There's not enough goals. There's not enough creativity. I think Tarkowski will really help defensively. I do, but we've lost the goal. So if we don't bring anyone, I really do think we'll be in the 16th, 15th, the 15th.
Yeah, but we are
around that bottom.
We are bringing someone in.
But Traore, a player like Traore,
not just Traore, we're bringing Dennis in as well. Probably someone like that.
We're not going to sign Dennis.
I don't understand where you're thinking we're getting these bags of money from.
I ain't said bags of money, have I?
His wife.
Do you really think that he's just going to let Richarlison go and not bring attacking players in? Do you really think that? Because I think
they'll try. I think they'll try.
I didn't think about Richarlison about Basil and books, but the more logical and the more in depth I think about it, well, yeah, he did. I don't think necessarily. I think Richarlison wants us to go. We probably got a lot more money, but we needed to sell. We need to sell them like before July.
You just put that comment up because you like that comment. I want someone positive like me. I want someone positive like me because I tell you something. If our players have got your attitude, we're going down.
Chris is agreeing with you. He says, "I hope you're right."
Yeah, exactly. Chris is a good guy. You know what I mean? He agrees with me because I honestly think that with that relegation battle will be a blessing in disguise. Our players have not been good enough. This is good though. I like debate. I like.
We're gonna be falling off a cliff with signings like Adam to Traore, because
we're not. I think he's good. I think he's good. Let's talk about him at least. You haven't even spoken about him. Okay,
he's got pace. He's strong. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying every time he's on a one-on-one, he's going to win it.
But if he's one of our front 3 players, he's got to score goals and got to create. He doesn't do that. What is the point?
He is a very dangerous player. He doesn't score. He did well at Barca. He did create. But
Dan, the point I'm making is this Everton team. Okay, I appreciate what you're saying. I'd actually really like him as a squad player. I think he could have an impact.
I think he'd be very good.
Yeah, for 10 million on low wages, but it's not going to be like that. The problem I've got is in that front 3 at Everton at the moment, because we haven't got many goals in midfield and we've got zilch. We've got no creativity. There's no creativity anywhere. We can't cross the ball. We can't make an assist. We can't take a set piece generally. There's no creativity. You're relying on a front 3 to score goals and to make goals. And if he's one of the front 3, I am not convinced over the course of 38 games, he will get enough goals and assists. He needs to at least get 10 goals and 5 or 6 assists. We need to replace Richarlison. Mabsy, what do you think on Traore? Obviously, Dan's really keen on him. I'd have him as a squad player, but I don't think you could say he's a natural, real replacement, and you could rely on him.
He's not a direct replacement. This is the issue. We're trying to do stuff on a fucking shoestring. You know what I mean? Champagne lifestyle, was it? Champagne lifestyle, lemonade budget.
That's I agree with that person. Gibbs White is a creative midfielder. Yeah. You just said we've got no creative players. Well, that's why we're trying to sign Gibbs White.
He's not done it in the Premier League, and I'm not saying we could afford anyone who's done it in the Premier. I'm just saying it is a lot of money, and the deal's got to be structured correctly, hasn't it? In that instance, and is it likely that we're going to be able to get him? That's what I'd ask. By the way, if you're enjoying this debate, listen, it's very mixed. Sometimes it's ultra positive, really, really full of banter. But tonight, you know what it is? I think I've just looked at that statement and thought, fucking hell, it's just going to be going through the motions again. We're not going to sign anyone. We're not going anywhere, and it's infuriating.
We'll be treading water again. I don't think it's going to be down to the wire like it was this season, last season or whatever. But I do think we struggle. We need to keep a head above water. The squad is threadbare.
Can we just ask Dan really? And by the way, guys, if you're on Facebook, please search for Follow Everton over on YouTube. Come over and subscribe. Dan, Me and Mabsy, maybe we're not ganging up on you, but we're right
that's
now.
Good.
Right now,
like
if the season starts tomorrow, where are the goals, mate? Seriously.
The goal. Well, like I just said to you, Calvert-Lewin is our striker. Fact. We're gonna replace Richarlison, and maybe we bring in Traore in as well. Then Ali needs to start scoring goals. Fact. Do you not think Ali can score goals? Ali needs to. He needs to start being a player this season. We didn't buy him for no reason. I think Ali can turn up and score goals.
Thanks,
who to replace Richarlison with?
I honestly, my perfect replacement for Richarlison was Dennis. Yeah, I've said it all along because he's the exact same player and he cost 15 million. So if you could bring in Dennis, you sold Richarlison for 60 million. You bring in Dennis for 15 million and Traore for 10 million. That's 25 million. That's 2 attackers cracking business, and I think we look better because we've got Townsend, Gordon, Ali, Gray, Traore, not many goals there. Dennis. It is though. You just don't believe in them. That's the difference. You just
watch them.
Yeah,
I've watched them.
I've watched them. How much have you watched Ali last season for Everton?
I watched every time he played, and I watched him at Spurs for 2 years.
He didn't play much.
He's finished.
Yeah, that's the problem. You don't believe in him. You've got to believe in him.
I think he's going to be a liability, and we're going to have to pay these players 10 million.
I've said on Twitter loads, these players need to get
Daniel Levy
this
doesn't
season
let good
started.
Players leave Tottenham. Daniel Levy doesn't let good players leave Tottenham. I can tell you that now. He does not. They've watched him day in and day out. He's finished. And I look at that front three now. I look at that front three, Mabsy, Iwobi, Gray, and Gordon. I don't even think they'll get 10 goals between them next season. I genuinely don't think
it's impressive. You look at Gordon. How many goals did he actually score or assist this season?
Gordon was on fire.
4 goals.
Gordon was on fire at the end of the season.
How was he on fire?
He was skinning every play. He actually got his first goals under the
belt. As much as I'm not having a go at Gordon,
I think you expect too much of him though, because he's just he's just turning into the good player that he needs to be. Yeah, and you don't want it to happen like that just because you need it. You've got to be patient with him.
We need a player that's going to hit the ground running now.
You're not going to get that player all the time. We're not top 14. We need to get our players better. But you're saying that we said we want to finish 10th. So what? Gordon's not going to be freaking Cristiano Ronaldo, is he?
Okay, can I just look at these stats from last season, guys? Okay, I'm just looking at this. Richarlison, by far the most effective player. 11 goals, 5 assists. We've got rid of him. So then you look down that list. The next best goals. Townsend with 7, Gray with 6. This is all competitions. Calvert-Lewin with 5, Gordon with 4, Iwobi with 3. And the rest have got 2 or 3. Rondon, who's meant to be our backup striker, 3. There's not enough goals in there. There's no creativity.
Clearly,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying about bringing players in.
What you just said on Richarlison's statistics, though. Richarlison just took a lot of statistics away from him because only one player can get those statistics. That's a good point.
What?
So if Richarlison wasn't playing, someone else would have been doing that. That's a good point. This is why I don't listen to statistics. That's why I don't listen to statistics, because if we kept giving the ball to Richarlison all the time, Iwobi's not going to get the good statistics, is he? That's why you never listen to statistics. You have to just watch the game and see. I don't want to say that word too many times.
Iwobi's not a goal scorer and he doesn't create enough. I don't care.
Iwobi, I tell you, I watched a video of Iwobi for Arsenal when he played centre mid, and I couldn't believe it was Iwobi. I watched it and someone put Iwobi at the top of it, and he was a proper baller, you know. He was really good, and I thought, we got to get that player.
You know what, though? I'm sick of people. I've seen him on YouTube. He was boss. At the end of the day, you know, you're talking about like a 5-10 minute clip of all his probably best bits. That you know what I mean?
No, it was the whole game. I watched the whole game. I watched the whole 90 minutes plus, and he was good in the whole game. Iwobi played well for us at the end of the season. Another one, you'll just turn negative because you'll think he's of all the bad games he's had. But this is why I say you've got a fresh start on.
No, you know what, Dan? No, totally disagree with that. Actually, I agree that he had a great. When Lampard came in, absolutely smashed it. And you know what? One may continue. I'm not having to go away.
Did you see, Mabsy? Did you see his him in, like, you seen the training videos of Iwobi and Gordon in that race? They are proper, like, getting into shape.
But I've also watched the Chelsea, the Man United, the Tottenham, and what they're doing, and the technical play and everything is so much better than us. And we're going to turn up, and we've got the preseason game against Arsenal on Saturday. And my team, I'm going to give you it now. I'm going to tell you, and you can comment. Let me know what you think, guys, and you guys as well. Calvert-Lewin up front, Dele Alli behind him. and Anthony Gordon and Damari Gray on the wings. Iwobi, and I don't know if we've got a central midfielder. I think Doucouré will have to be. And then Patterson, Michaelenko, James Tarkowski, Ben Godfrey and Pickford. And to be honest, that's the best 11 players we've got. There's not really any pace in the back line. There's no creativity really in that midfield, and there's not an awful lot of end product up front. But we'll go with that for now. And Dan, I really truly hope that last season's problems were a form problem and an attitude and a mood problem rather than these are bad players. I genuinely hope you are correct, but can only be realistic and say I watched last season the worst football I've ever seen in my life. It was disgusting. It was horrendous. I think I cannot get clouded by the Crystal Palace win and the Man United Chelsea scrappy wins at home. I look at that as 38 games. I was there at Wolves away. I was there at QPR away. I was there with Mabsy and David at some of these Dross home games. Mabsy was at probably 10 plus. We were disgustingly bad. And
I've been through all this with you. I ain't forgetting how bad we've been. I just want us to be better. I ain't forgetting all this. Trust me, I've been there.
If we stick
we all have to be better. That's why we're Blues at the end of the day, mate.
If we were to bring in Conor Gallagher into that midfield, a number 6,
we ain't getting Conor
Morgan
Gallagher.
Gibbs-White, I can see you going far. We tried for Christian Eriksen. He would have been a really good replacement for.
I don't think we'll get Conor Gallagher now. He's gone out my head because Chelsea have put him on the website. They're going to keep him in. I think they're going to keep him. There you go. First class Gallagher gone, staying at Chelsea. First class. I don't think we're getting Gallagher, and I don't know why. Do you not like that Onana from Lille? I think he's class. 20.
I'm going to go to the comments.
Yeah, come on, let's get him in. Let's get him in. Get some backup for me as well. Someone positive.
Jack the lad, thank you for this. He says Iwobi's going to get 10 assists this season. Thanks, Jack.
Yes,
appreciate it.
True as well. I'm glad he said that.
I really hope you're right. Jeannie saying Dele Alli didn't fit our relegation scrappy style, but let's 100%. Give him a chance. Fair enough. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's true. And Dele Alli come back and he smashed all the fitness tests and said he's in his best shape of his life. And we all remember when Dele Alli played for Tottenham and he was worth 120 million and Real Madrid wanted him. There's a good player in there, so think about that.
I agree with this, Billy. I don't think Dennis is anywhere near Richarlison. And not to expect too much with Gordon. I think that's an interesting comment. Chris is saying Gordon will improve next season. I think we will see some goals and assists. I just don't think we can put a huge amount of expectation on him. We need more wingers. But the problem is we need goals. We need creativity. We need a lot of things.
Patterson come out.
A style of play, Dan. We haven't got a style of play yet.
Patterson come out and said Gordon's an incredible player, and he was just. Did you see that today? He come out. They said who's the player that's impressed you the most, and Patterson, because he was answering questions today, said that Gordon's the player that. A lot the way that they speak about Anthony Gordon, Calvert-Lewin, and everyone, they're the star boy. Trust me, Anthony Gordon is going to be the player this season. Trust me, he's going to score goals and he's going to be proper good. That's why there's been loads of interest. Even Man City's manager said he was really good last season. He was interested.
Yeah,
Gordon is going to be class. He just give him a little bit more time. He's just putting the pieces together. He's a young lad, but he's not scared of anyone, and he'll smash it this season. Gordon will. It'll be good. And what you said about Richarlison, yes, we will miss Richarlison, but I know a lot of people was moaning about Richarlison missing stupid chances last season as well, and he wasn't clinical, and he made some bad passes in the final third. So I think it's just that we love Richarlison. That I'm the biggest one. We love Richarlison that much that we probably think he gave more than what he did because his statistics wasn't that good. You've just read them out like there was good. There was probably our best statistics, but there wasn't incredible. A lot of people was moaning about Richarlison for the last 2-3 seasons. I know that for sure.
Yeah, he's a good player in a bad team, though. Matty's saying we had the most injuries last year, 42. I agree, Matty. Benitez made us toxic, drain the players' confidence. The players will definitely be better. I hope you're right, Matty. I just have to look at this objectively, and I don't see an awful lot of goals. I see that Everton have lost 4 real playmakers in Dean, Richarlison, James and Sigurdsson, and really don't have that kind of player in the squad. It needs addressing. Michael saying great content, lads. We desperately need a solid playmaker midfielder who gets a shot at goal and delivers a quality ball. I'm asking you right now, if you're not already subscribed, to follow Everton. Literally, I'm looking you in the eye and saying, hit that fucking subscribe button for us. It's there. Dan, show us where it is.
Somewhere down there, isn't it?
Somewhere down there.
Hit like and subscribe. We've got to get to 2,000. We've got to get to 2,000. And we know we're going to get to 2,000 this season. By the end of this season, We're going to get to 2,000.
Yeah,
we're going to do it.
And if you're watching on Facebook, go on YouTube, search for Follow Everton, and subscribe.
Even anybody, like if you can put our link on your Facebook or put our link on any pages that you've got and say follow this to help us out, we'd love it. We'd appreciate it. Just help us out and get loads of people on this channel because we want to get it going.
Well, there's 43 watching at this time of night, 45 actually watching, plus however are watching on Twitter. We really appreciate it. It's 10 o'clock on a Thursday night, so I'm sure there's other things you could be doing, but we appreciate you being on here. And the channel is growing organically. Every day there's a new subscriber on there. So I'm hoping we'll reach our target and we'll keep putting some good content up. And as you say, it's a little bit of contrast. I think me and Mabsy are a little bit frustrated with transfers at the moment and just watching a lot of movement and activity, and also this statement from Moshiri. But moving on, I want to talk about the preseason. The players look like they're enjoying themselves. I watched the Calvert-Lewin and Tom Davis sort of video. The two of them look like really genuinely nice lads with great banter, and well-mannered, just nice people that you'd probably want to have a chat with in the pub. The players are being put through their paces, doing a lot of fitness work. Seamus Coleman at the moment isn't involved in the group, and Alan has a small injury. He'll be in training very soon. So Coleman will be touch and go for the start of the season. And we play Arsenal.
Do you think Coleman deserves to keep the captaincy? Now he's not going to be playing that much.
He can be the club captain, but I think you've got to have a captain who starts. You've got to have a new captain who starts.
I know who I would have the new captain when Coleman's not playing. I'd still have Coleman as captain.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to bring it up on the screen, and he's going to nod. This is who he's going to have captain.
See if you get it right. I don't think you're going to get it right.
I think he might.
Yes, he's got it right. Yes. Definitely, yeah. I would 100%. Yeah. Set a statement. Give him. He's going to be a leader straight away. So give him that armband, because I always think a centre-back captain is my favourite position for a captain. You think of the Italy, what was his name? Was it Cavani or something like that? The Italian one, proper hardcore, lead the back line. I think he'd be a good captain, Tarkowski. What do you think? Do you agree with that then?
I don't think he can come in and be captain straight away. I don't think he
can't come in quite literally and then expect to get the captaincy. Nah.
Who would you give it to though, other than him? He's just the one that rings out to me. I wouldn't give captain to anyone else.
Dom.
Yeah, I was literally thinking Calvert-Lewin. I'd give it to him. Look, Everton have had a lot of number 9s as captains, and I wouldn't have any objection with putting your main striker as your captain. And I think one thing I noticed about this group of players, and not necessarily about this pre-season, it's a very English group, isn't it? You know, you look throughout the squad, the centre backs, Godfrey, Mason Holgate, Keane, and Tarkowski, all of them are English. They're all British, even Coleman. It's Republic of Ireland, actually, to be fair. But Patterson obviously is British.
Jesus, looking in midfield, calls a fucking PR disaster there.
Yeah, there's a lot of English players, Gordon, Gray, Calvert-Lewin, in the squad, and hopefully that translates to some nice chemistry and good off the field relationships as well. Interestingly enough, the Spanish speaking sort of players are all going, and the talk is Andre Gomez will be out the door. Rondon's available, Yerry Mina's available, and Alan's available. But just from what you've seen of the clips and training, Dan, have you been impressed? Has it been nice to also see the players back on the pitch in this lovely purple lilac training gear?
Yeah, I think it's really good, because I'm literally watching all of it and wishing I was there. I don't know if you're the same. It's like, it just feels like they're having a good time. Yeah, it's important that they train hard. It is important that they train hard, because obviously they do need to get their fitness up. But I also think don't overtrain, because imagine if they all got injured before we even started the season. I just think you've got to get your fitness levels up, but don't go too hardcore, because we know our players are injury prone.
If we're technically not as good as the other teams we're going to be coming up against, Mabsy, then surely fitness, being able to outrun players, has got to be the absolute bare minimum, the margins we need to get.
But you know what, though? Lampard and his team is seeing it. You can tell what they're doing on the pitch in the videos. And you know what? They're all smiling. They're happy, they're happy they're under Frank.
I don't think, on what you said, Mabsy, I don't think there was United. I don't think there was a team. I really don't think there was a team. I think there was a bunch of individuals under Benitez that just went in their little packs and didn't connect with Benitez and didn't speak to the manager.
He created that atmosphere. Yeah, it was him.
So I definitely think every player you feel like Lampard will get the best out of them, because Lampard seems like a brother to him, if you know what I mean. He's a manager. He's strict. He will give him a bollocking, but it's good because he's got the combination of being strict, but also he can put his arm around them and say, if you want to talk, if you're struggling, I'm quite young, I know what you've been through, I've just come out of football and I'll help you out. And Wavy come out and said he's helped me a lot, like psychologically and stuff like that. When I got back from Nigeria, he helped me a lot. So
yeah,
well, you can see that in his game, can't you?
Yeah, you can see it in his game. That's the big positive. I know we say experienced managers and stuff like that, but with the praise that Lampard's getting from these players, he's obviously doing something good, isn't he?
Also, I just want to briefly touch on Basil was meant to be on the stream tonight. I've come in to replace him. He's got too much to do, unfortunately, and work comes first. So I hope you're enjoying listening to Dan and Mabsy tonight alongside myself with your Everton content. Be sure to like the video as well. So Arsenal on Saturday, the first preseason game. Arsenal actually beat us. What was it, 5-1? At last game of the season. Obviously, you can't bring an awful lot into that, but they've added Gabriel Jesus and other signings. You would expect them to beat us, but what do you want to see from Everton on Saturday, Mabsy? And
I want to see, you know what, right? I think it's hard to see because it's going to be the first game back. You know, it's going to be hot. You know what I mean? It's a tough one to say because you can't just expect them to kick off from the off, and Arsenal are going to be slower and a bit lethargic as well. You know what I mean? You've got to realise that pre-season isn't a competition. If that makes sense.
I agree.
You know, it's to get conditioning. It's to get 90 minutes into the legs. It's to, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna. If we lose, we get hammered. You know what? I'm not going to take anything away other than it's just a conditioning game.
Well, we got battered by Man United in the pre-season last year, and we got a 1-1 draw away at United and beat them at home. You can't take an awful lot from it in terms of the results, but it would be nice to win. It would be nice to build some confidence in the group ahead of the season. And you'd say Arsenal are unfortunately streets ahead of us at the moment, and you hope by the time the season starts, we've brought some players in and can narrow the gap somewhat. But a good run out, get some fitness, perhaps an opportunity to bring in some young players, Isaac Price, Lewis Dobbin. I don't think Ellis Sims is going to make it. I'll be honest with you. I think he's one that will probably sell after, towards the end of the window.
I think it's more Dobbin.
I think
Dobbin it's more Dobbin. What I was going to say on the
big.
pre-season, though, on what Mabsy said is basically, I don't want us to get battered. I do think get a result, but I'd like Lampard to go and try things that he's scared of trying for in the league, try new things. Yeah, just because if we go and play good, get draws all pre-season and not learn nothing, that learns us nothing going into the season. I want him to learn us a style and bring something out of this pre-season, try a few things. Who cares if we lose the games pre-season? It's the actual league games that matter. I'd rather him experiment and learn something and find out who we are, find out what style of play we can use, get us passing the ball. All the things that Lampard was shit scared to do in those games in that relegation battle, just go out and do it now and just go against teams. Don't be scared and try and get Everton playing some football.
He's definitely got to do that. He's got to implement the style of play, start to integrate his way of playing, give Dele Alli an opportunity to start games, get Patterson in the 11, get Calvert-Lewin firing up front and get the best out of Gordon and Gray, and so they can have a productive run. In the comments, we've got Chris. He's saying, I want some passion and fight.
Me too.
I think Mr. Mack is referring to Traore there. Sharon, welcome to the stream. She's asking, what do I think about Gordon number 10? I think that's good. Hopefully that gives him some confidence. And they all smiled last summer. Take a look. I think they genuinely were happy going into the season, weren't they? But, you can sit and talk all night about
him,
about the impact of Benitez. Yeah. There's a lot of comments here. Fantastic comments as well. Connor's saying, hello, lads. Feel like Lewis O'Brien from the Championship would be a brilliant signing. Anyone know anything about him?
I don't know what he's like, but I just don't feel like Everton take risks on Championship players that much, do they?
Why not, though? We should. I
do believe we should. but I do believe we should. We should take more risks. I mean, look at the one that West Ham got. What's his name? Who was the one that came up to West Ham from the Championship and smashed it? Scores loads of goals for him. I thought Ryan would know. I can't remember his name, but he come from the Championship and West Ham took a risk on him and he smashed it.
Bowen.
Yeah, Bowen. Look how good Bowen is now. Come from the Championship. A lot of people turn their noses at him, and he's one of the best players in the Premier League last season.
We were looking at him, weren't we?
Yeah, we was. We was one of the teams that did turn a nose at him because people like Moshiri thought that we could just get bigger names and stuff like that. He wasn't a name. Sometimes you've got to get players that want to make a name for themselves, and he was one of them. Here's some players.
Hugh is saying Gilmore and Cornet and another forward on loan. Thanks for that. And Connor goes on to say Levi Colwill. There's talk actually he doesn't want to leave Chelsea, but I think he'll be shipped out because I think they're just bringing in too many elite footballers.
There's a lot of links on him now. There's a lot of links. A lot of teams are interested. It said 4 teams interested earlier on when I read that. On
the captaincy, Hugh is saying Gordon and Ashton. Hi, Ashton. Is saying why not give Pickford the captaincy?
Do you know what I was going to say about Pickford? I'll just slip it in quick. I think that Pickford acts like he's a captain anyway, and if you give him the captain armband, it might go to his head and he might shout even more. It might be too much for him. So he acts like captain anyway. He doesn't need that band. And I don't like goalkeepers as captains. I feel like it needs to be someone on the pitch running and out. You know what I mean? It gives them more that leader thing and gives them a bit more oomph.
Matty's saying Pickford for captain, Tarkowski for vice captain. Thanks for that. Just looking through all the comments. They're fantastic. Keep them coming. Sharon saying a couple of for sale signs outside Goodison tonight.
Is there really?
Put that up yourself, Sharon.
Oh no, please, not more bed sheets.
I don't know what you've heard on this. I don't know whether to bring it up, but I was on a space just before we come on, and they were saying that Everton, there's loads of things going wrong with the stadium. Like
no, I think it was that with Mike and Raf.
Yeah, just saying that there's saying that Everton are not abiding by the rules on the stadium, that it could go wrong.
No, it's not Everton. No, hang on, Dan. Let's make this clear. It's
not Everton. I didn't understand it. That you probably know more than me.
So basically, what they're saying is, I don't know where this has come from. If it's true, I think it's because what's happened is that Langs has obviously taken over the site. Okay, basically Everton are the customer, and the workers who are self-employed anyway want union representation from Unite or whoever. And I think Langs don't recognise unions, and everyone's saying Everton should get involved and Everton promise. But, you know, they have a little control over what goes on in the build. At the end of the day, it's Langs, it's at Langs doors. And you know what? It's probably storming a teacup.
Yeah, I did think the same. Just the talk.
Yeah, a lot of people at the moment are just trying to find so many things that could go wrong, and you're just like, just stop. I you know what? You think I come across as negative, and I should be more positive, right? But you know what? Someone having a union dispute, you know what is happening all over the bloody country at the moment. It's nothing epidemic to do with Everton, especially. And will it affect the stadium? You know, may delay it 1 or 2 months. If it will, it probably won't, because what will happen is Langs have to draft more people in because they've got a deadline to meet. Simple as.
They were saying that it's all deadlines, and if it does delay things, then Everton it might affect the stadium happening. That's what they're basically saying.
It won't affect the stadium. It will basically mean that Everton putting penalties, and at the end of the day,
Jack the lad.
We're not like Spurs, the way that we had to be out of like Wembley or White Hart Lane.
Is that Jack from the space? Was that Jack that goes on the spaces?
Yeah,
I didn't know that was Jack that goes on the spaces.
No, it was, yeah. But as I say, it is as I say, we're not in a position of Spurs that they had to be out of Wembley. We don't have to be out of Wembley. We out of Goodison. If the stadium overruns, the stadium's bound to overrun at least by 6 months, because it's a major infrastructure project and it won't go smoothly. Everyone's got to realise that building projects do not go smoothly.
I think with the stadium, I honestly think that our fans are just looking into way too much stuff. We need to just let it happen. The stadium will get built. We don't need to know more than what we need to. And Jack, who just commented, will probably agree with that, with what he says, because he thinks like me. He's Mr. Positive. He's just like, don't think about too much. Just think about the good things, and just that's what we need. The stadium, we're not building it. We're acting like we're the builders, and we need to know every single little thing that's happening.
I agree with you on that. You know what? There are people that are more concerned about what's happening on the building site in fucking L3. You know what I mean? There's some, people got lives to go on, and some people are just bored and looking.
We're just bored. That's what it is. We just need something to talk about. I think Ryan does as well. When we get a new player in, when we get an attacking midfielder that can create, then it'll be a lot better. We do need a signing. A signing will help everything. I honestly, I keep saying it. We just need the season to start because a lot of people are still negative from that relegation battle.
No, give me more break. Give me more of a break.
No, you'll be happy. I promise you. I promise. Do you know what? I will do the biggest forfeit ever if we are in a relegation battle again, because we will not be. I promise you, we won't be in that relegation battle again. I'll do whatever forfeit you want me to do. I'll do anything, mate. Honestly, I don't think we'll be in that relegation battle again. Even you, Mabsy, said you don't think we'll be as good, but you don't think we'll be in the relegation battle again. You said that.
I think we'll be. I don't think we'll be in the situation we were this season. That's what I said.
Yeah,
I don't think we will potentially we could be down there, but I don't think we're going to be as bad a position as we were last season.
You've got to. It's got to be. It's not going to happen quick, though, is it? Like we wasn't that bad last season for no reason. We need to add to it. If we can bring in 2 centre midfielders now and a winger and attacker, that would be a cracking window. And if Moshiri has come out and he said in the letter, we're going to...
Richarlison.
Well, yeah, I think Richarlison... I'm starting to think that selling Richarlison, if we go out and spend 50 million of that Richarlison money or whatever, and we sign...
Do you think we'll spend 50 million of the Richarlison money?
I think we've got to, because no way would Everton go out and offer 25 million for that White as a first offer. If they're not buying one player, they're buying players in different positions, and no way would they go and spend all the budget on one player when Moshiri's come out and said, I'm going to buy different players. We've got a budget, mate. Honestly, that the Moise Keane money has got to be added to the pot. Maybe we might even end up selling Gomez. We will. I do believe we'll end up moving Mina on. I really do. Because from what I spoke to a few people. They're saying that Everton really do want to push Mina out because he only plays because he's on big wages. But they're saying he's cracking person in the changing rooms, but he'll only play if he's fully fit.
Yeah,
we need someone that's going to play if he's 80% fit, not fully fit.
Dan, we got Wonderlust here. He's saying dress like Calvert-Lewin for a whole episode if we end up in the toilet. So,
mate, I'll dress like Calvert-Lewin. I'll twerk in the dress if we get in that relegation battle for next
Mike
season.
Mike is saying the cost of build is fixed as well. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, you're right there. So at the end of the day, if it overruns, all that happens is Everton get the stadium cheaper because there'll be penalties. So it's a fixed cost saving. It's not.
Don't worry. I tried to get a cup without looking off my table and everything fell off it. Do not worry.
Can we just appreciate a new member, Sharon? Sharon, please go on YouTube, search for Follow Everton, hit the subscribe button. We don't mind you watching on Facebook here on in, but please help us on YouTube. It really helps with the algorithm. Guys, it's been a pleasure. We've talked about everything here. I probably a little bit overreacted talking about getting angry before, but you know what it was? I was a little bit optimistic that the club would have a takeover because I do think we'd gone stale. Disappointing to read that we aren't for sale. Optimistic, I suppose, about bringing players in. Traore as a squad player perhaps would be decent. Grubbs White, I think, could be, a progressive young talent with Gordon in the England under 21s. But I just think coming from last season, I think we need a big name forward. I think we need a number 6. I'm not quite sure we've got enough defenders who are good. We've got a lot of central defenders, but have we got enough good central defenders? And we need a creative midfielder who would be a shoe-in for set pieces, corners, free kicks as well. So I'm hoping when we start to get those players in, the mood will change with us as well in the wider fan base. Chris is saying if positivity got us points, you'd win the league. I agree. Thank you so much, Dan. Have we got anything else we want to talk about before I wrap things up?
No, I'm going to have to shoot, mate, anyway.
All right. See you later, Babs.
See you in a bit. Bye.
No, you what do you think on that Onana player? What do you think of him from Lille? Because he's literally like gone a guy when I've been watching him. You keep not talking about him. Do you not like him? Onana, what's your name? Have you actually looked him up though, or not?
You just want him for the song, don't you?
Yeah, it's a good song for him, isn't it? But no, have you looked him up though? Because he looks like he's an engine, and he scores goals and he creates goals. He looks like the sort of player you keep asking for, but seem to not look at him and don't want him.
35 million though. It's not realistic, is it?
I don't know. If we're interested, then it's got to be.
CDM, big, strong.
I want to know what our actual budget is, because if we're going in for Brozier and we're going in for 25 million for this White, what do you think the budget is? Shave your hair.
Man, you know what? Deep down,
I'll get my kid to shave my hair if we get. We're not going to end up in a relegation battle. We're not. I'm safe. I really do. Honestly, I would do any forfeit if we ended up in a relegation battle again. I don't believe it's going to happen, and I've said it loads. That relegation battle will be a blessing in disguise. We're going to hit the ground running from the start of the season. We're going to play every game, all 38 games in that league, to stay up, and that's the sort of attitude you need. Our players was too relaxed, big egos. They needed grounding. They needed knocking down a peg or two. And then being in that relegation battle, thinking they were going to lose their jobs and end up in the Championship, will get them motivated next season, trust me, and you'll see different players. That's what I believe.
Just looking at these comments as well.
I like them.
It's
good though, right? Because I wanted you on because some people have got your opinion, some people have got my opinion, so it's good to get both out there.
Most have got my opinion, but admire what you're saying and find it positive.
No, do you know what though? Truthfully,
I think we're just a little bit.
No, I've been putting positive stuff on my Twitter just lately more because I thought, you know what? You might as well just hope for the best and get behind them. And if it's shit, then you deal with it being shit when it is shit. So just hope for the best and get behind them. And I've been doing tweets saying fresh start, and it got like 500 likes. Well, 400 likes, fresh start. Everyone liked it because everyone wants the fresh start. Everyone wants to be positive. And then if I do a tweet that's negative, no likes. But if I do a positive tweet, people relate to it. And it made me think, you know what? There's a lot of Everton fans that want to be positive out there, because if they're liking my positive tweets, then obviously...
Why do you think I've given you a job?
What's that? Yeah.
And if you really appreciate that, the channel is not really monetized, but you can click super sticker, super chat. Now we've got the functionality. At the end of the season, there'll be, if there's anything after we've covered the costs, it will go into kits for the lads, for Dan, for putting the hours in, for talking, for bringing you that positivity. So you can see on YouTube, super sticker, super thanks, super chat, 79p or something. It'll all go in a big pot. At the end of the season, the people who come on here, like Dan, will be rewarded with, you might get a bar of chocolate, put it that way. Or maybe
do you know what?
I know you like your Everton retro kits.
Yeah, if you do that, we might even put it back into the channel, knowing me, because I'm not. If you do it, it's good. We want to do as much as we can with the channel, but I just love the channel. I like going on the channel. It's just us.
It just goes into getting you a new camera, doesn't it? For
we'll put it into it, just getting the channel better, because that's what we want to do. We want to make it better for you. Whatever you put in, you'll get back, because we'll make the channel better for you. And the better it gets, the better it is for us as well. But we just love it, don't we? I'd like to think we're on this channel. I'd like to think we're down to earth, so a lot of people will relate to us. You know, you'll get some people that think the big timers on the channel. I'd like to think that we're just literally what you are. We think how you think, and you can go on and you're just thinking, oh, I can relate to what these are thinking and saying, because they're just down to earth people. That's what I try and be.
I want to know when you're going to do your little nugget 5-minute videos on your own. When you see something and you just got something on your brain and you just set up a stream and you're on there on your laptop or your phone.
I just need to build up the confidence. And I know I come across a confident person. I am once I do something, but I'm still new to this channel now. So soon I will be just like this on my own, talking to you, reading your comments, and start doing it by myself. Ryan, don't go, get back, see? Has he just left me now? He's crazy, isn't he? Ryan, where are you?
You're lost without me, aren't you?
Yeah, dude. See, I'm not as good. This is
You're
what I
like
say.
you're playing.
You
You can easily bring up those comments and talk about them.
No, I know I was going to talk about
Everyone's hanging on everything you're saying.
Yeah, no, I was just... Ryan thinks I don't think you take for granted how much of a good host you are, Ryan. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Dan. Eugene is saying, are you doing an Everton watch along? I don't think we will, to be honest. It's not really our cup of tea, unless Dan wants to introduce a new thing to the channel.
What's he saying again? Say that again.
TV. Eugene, one of our regulars, is saying, are you doing a watch along for the Arsenal game? You're going to get up in the morning, sit there on the laptop.
Do you know what I would like to do? Like, if we could do our response to a whole game, it would be good to get one of them on the channel, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like us watch a game.
We'll do a reaction. I'm not sure we're going to do a watch along. I think there's quite a few people doing them, and I don't know how it really works with syncing up what we're seeing with what you watch as well. We'll look into that, Eugene. I'm not saying that it could be for the Arsenal game, but we'll look into that ahead of the new season. I'm sure.
What is that then? Is that the same as a reaction? You just watch the game?
No, you're watching the game now, and people are watching you watch it.
Yeah, that would be good for us to see our response, especially you. You'd be like, oh, it would be a good one.
No, I wouldn't be that interesting to watch. It would be you and Yandal.
No,
I just sit there motionless.
With how angry you get with some of the players, mate, I think you'd be like,
I don't get angry. You know what? I just end up motionless and speechless.
Yeah, exactly. That'd just be funny to watch sometimes.
I'm just waiting for something to happen to be able to talk about something. Really,
I think it will though. I do think that Moshiri come out and saying that. You said that you think he's not a man of his word. He has always put the money on the table. Maybe he'll come out and sign some players. He wouldn't say that if we can't sign players. Surely there must be a bit of money in the pot.
Talk of a new deal for Tom Davis, 5 years.
Do you think Tom Davis is going to be good this season? I so hope he is because I love him.
Would you be happy with a new 5-year deal for Davis, Dan?
I think this is the season where Davis, we decide whether we keep him or not. If he has a good season this season under Lampard, then awesome. If he don't, then maybe we might need to move him on. You can't. He hasn't had his chance yet, has he? This is going to be his chance. He's got to prove himself. Every player's got to prove himself.
Really good news. Everton are close to signing Phil Jones from Man United on a free transfer. What's your reaction?
I just want to see his faces, to be fair. He's got good faces, and when he tackles and stuff like that.
Would you be happy with him?
No, I wouldn't. What do you think?
I thought you were positive.
Do you think that Colwell deal will happen or not with us, or do you think that's gone?
Stop changing the subject. I'm asking you about breaking news. Phil Jones.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
No,
he's got a text now. He's having a medical.
No, it ain't. This isn't changing the subject. We did get linked with Smalling after you saying that back in the day, didn't we? Remember from Rome? I don't want any players. I'm happy with our defence now. But I'm really happy with Everton's defence now. We've got Tarkowski and we've got loads of centre backs. And
Lingard's coming apparently on 250k a week.
We didn't. No, he isn't. He's gone to. Who has he gone?
I just see what your limit was with positivity. Oh yeah, Andy Carroll, top player.
Andy Carroll on a free. No, I was just thinking we didn't say it. I think Coleman being out a little bit is going to give Patterson the chance that he needed, and he's going to have to be used. So maybe that might be a blessing in disguise as well, that Coleman's out for a little bit, so Patterson will get pushed in the deep end like Mikalenko did. I don't know what you think on that one. He's gone. Right, where did you go?
Well, hello, Dad. It's Harry Redknapp.
Right, ready?
Pleasure to come on. Just been speaking to my nephew Frankie, top player. He's retired now. Could probably still play midfield for Everton, but terrific lad, top player. Sandra, wait a second, love. I'm just on the call with young Dan. Yeah, I've got good news for you, Dan. We've got a good signing coming in for Everton this summer.
Who we got? Harry?
Well, we've got terrific player, top professional, class act, top player, terrific, absolutely wonderful signing, deadline day deal. Peter Crouch coming in, 6-year deal. We've also got Nico, top player. Crouch, Defoe, Nico linking up for Everton, and the Super Frankie is brilliant, top player, terrific, wonderful, magnificent. Thank you.
That's good. That is Redknapp. I look forward to them coming.
Hello, Dan. Hussein Vinga from FIFA here to talk about Everton. Have you got any questions for me?
Yeah, Arsene Wenger, do you really sound like that, or did you put it on?
I did not know. I just sound like this, and I'm from France, and I was a former Arsenal manager, and they actually made my name up, so I fit in. If you put the E off the end of my name and put A and L on, my name is actually Arsenal. Very good, isn't it?
I didn't know that, Arsenal. That's really interesting to hear. Arsenal, who's the best player you've ever had in your team?
Mikael, of course, top player, fantastic, but I did not see a lot of him, but a very good player.
Mikel Arteta. This is going to be Bill. This is going to be Bill. Harry Kane.
Hello.
What, Harry?
Hello, it's Harry Kane.
I've got a bone to pick with you. I've got a bone to pick with you, Harry Kane. Why have you gone and stole my Richarlison?
It's good, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that bothered about him now anymore. Anyway, why did you? What do you think of Richarlison? Do you think he's good or not?
This is all right, isn't he? I just want to be top scorer. Sound a bit more like Theo Walcott, don't I, for Southampton?
Yeah, you do sound like Theo a little bit, actually. That wasn't the normal Harry Kane. You must have Theo with you. Right, Bill.
Good evening, Dan. It's Bill.
Right, Bill.
Well, Farhad, he's terrific. You know, we've had good times, and Farhad, he'll probably not keep to his word, but I'm just about to go to Coronation Street and have some good times with Rita Sullivan in the cafe.
Have you got a thing going on Rita Sullivan? Bill? Bill?
Well, Dan, that's Sir Alex Ferguson here, Man United former manager.
Oh, Alex.
Good evening, Dan. You know, when I told Davy Moisey to come from Everton, you know, he's a terrific top player, fantastic manager, coach, and it's a pleasure, you know, to bring in David Moyes from Man United and, you know, make Everton really suffer, because we also took, you know, Wayne Rooney from him as well. As Bill knows, you know, we took his boy and he wasn't happy. But, you know, Everton this season, you know, you're going to really struggle, Dan. You're really going to struggle.
I don't think we
you
are.
can certainly be positive, but, you know, I've watched just shocking.
I think, man, you were shocking as well. I just think you had one good game pre-season, mate. I think you're awful as well. Not a very good manager, Alex Ferguson. You've won nothing. You're rubbish. Crap manager. Done nothing.
Dan, you know, absolutely no chance. And, you know, actually, I could just change my name and say that I'm, what's that pundit for Liverpool on TV? He was on for years.
Oh, the one that spits. Eminem. Jamie Carragher. Slim Shady. Alan Hansen.
Hello, Dan, it's Alan Hansen here, you know, former Liverpool centre-back.
How you doing, Alan? You all right?
I'm just having a pint with Gary Lineker here, and you know, Fernando Torres would still get in this Everton team, you know.
Yeah, he probably would, to be fair. He was quite fast, wasn't he?
Dan,
Idiot, like.
Dan, do you think you'd get in the Everton team this season?
Do you think I'd get in it? No, I don't think I would, mate. I think this Everton team's good. You got some. You put a few new ones in there. You've been practicing.
No, I don't practice.
I thought you practiced.
Just lightening up the mood, isn't it? We're gonna wrap things up, though, aren't we? On that bombshell.
Yeah, definitely. We'll wrap it up, and we'll be announcing all these new signings that Moshiri was talking about. So
I'm gonna try and be positive.
Nice to.
I really like this new Everton training gear. That's all I'm gonna say. I think it's a little bit special.
I like it when you showed it me. I thought it's nice. A lot of people have moaned about the kit, but they're all getting it and they're all loving it. So it just shows that we moan a lot.
The home kit's nice.
One final comment. The navy one as well that you showed me was nice with the orange. Did you get that?
No, I didn't buy that yet. I'll get that next time.
You probably will. Yeah, I know you will.
I had to buy it for David. I had to buy this for David and for Jasmine as well. So.
What about the polo? That was really nice as well. The polo that you showed me. Some nice stuff.
I'm going to order the polo. I'm going to order the navy. I'll probably get it all because I want to wear it on the show. And I play football quite a lot, so it's good to have.
Let's face it, if it's making you want it all, it can't be bad stuff, can it?
It's good. It's comfortable.
And you've got the new stuff coming out as well, haven't you? The second and the third kit. Do you actually know what the second and the third kit is going to be? Are you allowed to say?
The second kit or the third kit is very dark navy. Sorry, very dark colour. It's black or very dark purple. It's got the stripes going across that are purple.
There was one where I seen on Twitter where it was in a room far away.
Yeah, that was the kit.
Which one
was
that one?
With purple stripes. It's got across the top.
Is there going to be another purple one that's completely purple or not?
No, I don't know. I think it's amber.
When does this get released? You know? We don't know. All good stuff though. No, I like
Get Jan to ring Bill. He's got his private number. Andrew's saying, I've got a negative feeling we'll get behind Everton Football Club. Can only do what we can do with money. Let's have a strong belief we can finish mid-table 11th. The expectation that 11th or 12th, it's a little bit sad as well, isn't it, Dan, that we are, even 11th or 12th, it doesn't really get you too excited, does it? It'd just be nice to stay up and play some good football, wouldn't it? And not get beat every week.
You just got to realise where you're at and you've got to build it up. If you could get Everton better every year and get on better, then add another player in and get on better and work your way up. Because let's face it, I don't like to talk about the Red Sharks. I can't stand it. But when Klopp come in, he didn't hit the ground running, did he? He had to build his thing, didn't he? And he brought players in and built them up. Every team's the same. You look at Dortmund and you look at other teams that they took a while out and you need to build them up. Basically, you just need to give them time.
Yeah, you can't do everything overnight. I think where Everton have gone wrong is bringing 6, 7, 8 players in a window, shipping 6, 7, 8 out. Well, not really. We tend to hold on to them until the contracts expire. But getting to the stage where, Dan, we've got a stable team and you're adding 2 or 3 quality players per summer to gradually build your way into that sort of upper echelons of the league again.
Well, it was like it with I don't know if you obviously remember it. It was like it with David Moyes. It felt like the team got stronger and stronger every season. We felt like we was going to be 6th, then we was 5th, then you knew we'd get the top 4 spot. Then we did get in this thingy top 4 and was always around that area. And was all under that David Moyes era. We was only one. We didn't have the money back then. Yeah, we were so
close. He literally left 1 year too early. If he'd have stayed and he had control.
If he had Lukaku, David Moyes had a good striker like Lukaku. I honestly feel like Moyes would have won a trophy with us. I really do.
Yeah,
because we was close.
We were a striker away and a good centre half. We needed one more centre back and one more striker.
100%. That's what we need to do again.
Yeah, we were 2 players away, I reckon, from being really solid top 4 contenders. And he left a year too early because that's when the investment come. But I do want to wrap things up, guys.
Yeah,
Noel
definitely
saying good chat tonight, lads. Thanks, Noel. Make sure you like the video wherever you're watching, YouTube, Facebook, and subscribe. Feeling a bit tired now. But Dan, it's good to catch up, good to chat.
Yeah, definitely so, mate.
Good to have a bit of an open discussion as well, and not to just agree on too many things, and also just maybe I've exaggerated the situation, but I'm just trying to be realistic with what I've seen. I'm not so optimistic moving forward without players. I do think we're short of a creative midfielder, a number 6 and a versatile forward, but I do think if we can get them in, the outlook for us will change dramatically. That the whole place will be lifted, and I really hope they get some players for you, so you can be positive about something to be positive about.
Yeah. If we get those signings, then maybe we can start taking away those things that you say we need. Like you're saying, we need that creativity. Then what you're saying we need, if we bring the signings in to bring that, then you'll be happy and I'll be happy. That's what we need. Great stream. See, we're getting good comments. Keep liking and subscribing, people. Good comments. I like that people enjoy it.
Did that work?
What happened?
Did that work?
No, it didn't. Nothing happened on my screen. What did you do? You tried to do the end of the thing. You've got to fix it.
Is it not working?
No, I said that to you on the group thing chat. I said to you, we need to fix the. I think you've changed it a little bit, and it's completely buggered it.
I just pressed play and it played then for me.
It didn't play for me at all, and it normally plays. So I think because you're getting it and no one else is, that didn't sound right. Then maybe you just think it's working.
I'm not playing the old
Everybody
intro.
else ain't seeing it.
I'm not playing the old intro.
We'll have it back.
Guys.
Now it's actually not working. I actually miss it. We'll definitely get it back though.
Should we try the old one for good times? I've got the new one literally in front of me. It's just
play the
not
old
playing.
one, and if
for
you got
me.
the old one, just don't. You're being stubborn with the new one. If you can't make the new one work, go back to the old one. Does it work? I don't think that's working. Is that working?
That played. Did you not see it?
No, maybe it just don't come up on my screen. Maybe you played it like 3-4 times and they've seen it and I haven't. Just for fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Has anyone seen that? Can anyone confirm whether they actually saw the theme tune? Should we do it together?
You
know what it is, don't you?
I always sing it when it plays.
You know what it is?
Yeah, you playing the saxophone.
Yeah, but what song?
It's a grand old tune. Not joking. No, I know what song it is. It's good.
We've got the best supporters from any football ground. As long as they're behind us, we'll never let them down. They saw it, by the way.
Did they see it?
Saw it. Listen, Noel's asking when you'll next be on. Dan, when will you next be on? Will you drop something if any news over the weekend or?
Yeah, I'll definitely drop something. Loads of stuff's happening. We're going to sign someone very soon. Anyway, we've put a bid in for Gibbs White, so I presume we'll go in with second bid. Something will be put up. And even if we don't sign someone, the kits are going to come out. We'll be back. Don't worry. We'll keep you updated.
We're doing a couple, 2-3 streams a week at the moment, but we'll definitely be back on Sunday actually to talk about the Arsenal game. So
yeah, we do get quite a few on Sunday. I've noticed Sunday seems to be a good day because a lot of people are chilling.
We've had around 50 people watching concurrently tonight, so that was a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, so we've done well then.
Goodbye. Let's play the theme tune again.
Here we go.